Authorities in Virginia releasing body cam video showing the officer tasing a man who appears to be walking away from him. The charges he's facing on the same day. Mostly peaceful protesters filled the streets across the country, calling for an end to police brutality.
Push for change.
No justice, no peace.
Emerald Gardner, whose father, Eric Gardner, died in New York City after police put him in a banned chokehold. Joining us this morning, the new legislation in her dad's name and what she hopes to accomplish.
Remembering George Floyd, thousands of people descending upon a small town in North Carolina near Floyd's birthplace, standing in solidarity with the family.
I feel so sad because it very well could have been my brother, my son, my uncle, any of those.
How his family now hopes Floyd's death will be a turning point.
Crushing the curve, New York City finally starting to reopen. Business owners eager to get back to work, even as more than a dozen states are reporting seeing their cases increase. Plus, how it's affecting college football.
And ready to make landfall, Tropical Storm Cristobal spawning tornadoes in Orlando. Downing trees and damaging homes, our weather team in New Orleans with the storm track.
Live from ABC News in New York, this is Good Morning America.
Good morning. We are waking up to breaking news overnight. A white Virginia officer charged after using his stun gun on a black man. The man said he couldn't breathe.
All this while it was another night of largely peaceful protests across the country and around the world against police brutality, including what was expected to be the largest protest yet in Washington, D.C. Tomorrow, the fired police officer who put his knee on George Floyd's neck for nearly 9 minutes is set for his first court appearance. Derek Chauvin facing a second-degree murder charge.
And this morning, a senior defense official tells ABC News that at one point last Monday, President Trump wanted 10,000 troops in Washington, D.C. and other cities to quell the protests. We have team coverage this morning. Let's start with ABC's Rachel Scott, who's in Washington. Rachel, good morning to you.
Dan, good morning. And I want to get to that breaking news overnight. It's an image we have seen played out over and over again. A black man being detained by police saying the words, "I can't breathe." It has sparked national outrage and protests. And now another police officer in Virginia is in custody. Breaking overnight, a Virginia police officer arrested and charged with assault after this violent takedown of a black man caught on police body camera. The white officer seen firing his stun gun as the man walked away. The officer seen leaning on the man's back with his knees. The man saying, "I can't breathe."
We can all agree that the footage of this incident is unsettling. I want our community to know that we are pursuing charges that are in line with current law.
It comes as the nation is still grappling with outrage over other violent videos like this one. 2 Buffalo police officers now charged with felony assault after shoving this 75-year-old man to the ground. Incidents like that driving huge crowds like this one overnight in Seattle. Police firing flashbangs to disperse a crowd after they say protesters began throwing explosives, rocks, and bottles at them, injuring some officers. And in Denver, thousands marching through the streets, many gathering outside police headquarters, held back by fences. Earlier Saturday in Minneapolis, the city where George Floyd died while being arrested, the city's mayor booed, forcing him to leave a demonstration after refusing a protester's demand to abolish the city's police department. But at the same time Saturday, some of the largest demonstrations yet coast to coast, mostly peaceful marches from San Francisco to New York, New Orleans to Philadelphia. Here in Washington, the largest crowd yet. A sea of protesters in the shadow of the nation's capital pressing toward the White House.
That we actually make policy change and make sure that everybody's treated equally in this country.
Overnight, protesters painting "Defund the Police" on the street as a counterpart to Mayor Bowser's Black Lives Matter memorial. Demands for equality even sweeping across small towns. In Saddlebrook, New Jersey, where more than 80% of the residents are white, chants of Black Lives Matter. And the president kept a low profile yesterday. No public events on his schedule. And even as Washington saw its largest demonstration yet, the president tweeted the crowds were much smaller than expected. Dan?
So interesting to see those protests in small small towns across America. Rachel, thank you so much for your reporting this morning. We're going to move now to Minneapolis, where the fired police officer who held George Floyd to the ground with his knee will make his first court appearance tomorrow. ABC's Zachary Quiche is right there. Zachary, good morning to you.
And good morning to you as well. Protesters here in Minnesota and around the country have been adamant that police accountability in the way of convictions is an important part of this healing process. Now, 4 officers have been charged in the death of Floyd, which happened just behind me here. Former officer Derek Chauvin will make his first court appearance here in Minneapolis on Monday afternoon. His charges have been upgraded to second-degree murder and second-degree manslaughter. The prosecution will need to prove use of force was unreasonable. Now, the original police report stated Mr. Floyd resisted arrest, although the video evidence we've seen doesn't seem to support that claim. 2 officers representing rookie officers charged in the crime are pointing blame on Chauvin, the supervisor. And, you know, despite that graphic video showing former officer Chauvin on the neck of Floyd for nearly 9 minutes, Attorney General Keith Ellison says this won't be easy. Whit?
All right, Zachary Quiche for us in Minneapolis once again. Thank you so much. We do now move to North Carolina, where thousands gathered for an emotional farewell to George Floyd in the state where he was born. ABC's Victor Oquendo joins us with more. Victor, good morning.
Good morning. With the service inside this church was private, but that did not stop the huge crowds from gathering here in the small town of Rayford, North Carolina. We heard from George Floyd's friends, family, and local officials, including the county sheriff, a black man who wants his fellow officers to recognize that they are part of the problem, and he does not want George Floyd's death to be in vain.
More than 10,000 people descended on the small town of Rayford, North Carolina, not to mourn the loss of George Floyd, whose death sparked a worldwide movement, but to celebrate their native son.
Some death ain't about dying. Some death is about waking all of us up.
Near his birthplace, hundreds of Floyd's friends and family gathered at Saturday's emotional memorial service.
And we must all come together and come to the front lines to protect each other.
Since early Saturday morning, when his casket was wheeled into the Douglas Cape Fear Conference Center, the line stretched for miles, filled with people who wanted to stand in solidarity with the Floyd family.
I feel so sad because it very well could have been my brother, my son, my uncle, any of those. I saw my people. He's one of us.
The local sheriff among those boldly calling for change.
We are part of the problem. It's got to change.
Floyd's sister saying his death is a turning point.
I feel like God chose him for a reason, that he hand selected my brother because he had worked for him. Absolutely. You know, he had a job for him and he called him home. And so his death is not in vain.
There will be another public viewing tomorrow in Houston, where George Floyd spent so much of his life, followed by his funeral on Tuesday. Eva?
Victor Oquendo for us, thank you. And just a bit earlier, we spoke with Emerald Garner, whose father died in New York City after police put him in a banned chokehold in 2014. Emerald, thank you so much for being with us this morning. We've seen some police departments in some cities ban chokeholds. Locally, there's legislation that was introduced to outlaw chokeholds by federal law enforcement in your father's name, the Eric Garner Excessive Force Prevention Act. What do you hope that achieves?
Hello, good morning. Thank you for having me. I'm hoping to achieve what everybody has been hoping to achieve, which is accountability. Police officers need to be held accountable. And that's just what the goal is. That's what the end game is.
What other changes would you like to see in police forces across the nation?
There's a whole list of things, but just to name a few, cultural sensitivity training, everything falls under police reform as far as, retraining the officers, doing background checks on the officers. If the officers have complaints already, they should be fired. They should still be on the force if they have so many, complaints against them. Because you work in retail, you get a write-up and the next step is fired. So I think that type of sternness and that type of enforcement and accountability is exactly the change that we need to see.
Recently, we've seen this discussion about systemic racism and how we end it. Do you have a message to the president and Congress who have yet to act on an anti-lynching bill?
please pass the laws and, you know, just to see us. The world is at a standstill right now, and the trending topic is Black Lives Matter, and you can't go anywhere without seeing that. And it's about time that they take accountability for the Black lives that didn't matter and the Black lives that are no longer here with us because of the hands of the police.
Do you think things are different this time around with the protests and the results? And if so, why?
I do think that things are different right now. You know, as I said, we're in a national pandemic, and, you know, there's no TV shows, there's no big movie release, there's no concerts, there's nothing going on right now. So they have no choice but to focus on the Black Lives Matter movement. There's nothing to do but to focus on the civil rights movement and changing the laws and policy making and voting and filling out your census. Like that's all we have to do right now. We don't have anything else to do. Mostly everybody is home. You know, people are taking the streets, but you know, that's what's happening right now.
Well, Emerald Garner, thank you so much for being with us. We really appreciate your time.
Thank you so much.
All right, let's talk about the politics of all of this with ABC's Martha Raddatz, who's in Washington, where she's going to be hosting This Week later this morning. Martha, good morning to you. So we're nearing nearly 2 straight weeks of protest here with people calling for change. How long do you think this movement could last? It's so interesting to hear Emerald Garner pointing out that it could last for quite a while because people are not working or going to school right now. And I guess the second part of that question is, do you think we're going to see results as a consequence of these protests?
Well, I do think the protest could last a while. I don't think you will probably see the numbers like you saw yesterday here in Washington, D.C. I was out yesterday covering those protests as well, and they were all peaceful. You've really seen that over the last few days, a very different tone. But there's a lot of energy and emotion that still remains. So I suspect you will see something. So many people have said they think this is different this time. We've all heard that before, Dan. We've heard it before when other black men were killed by white police officers, but it does feel like there might be results from this. It is so widespread. You look at the whole country, you look at those images, all those people out of all races. They are very diverse crowds. So I think in this case, there might be some change.
In a polarized Congress, in a polarized country, it's always difficult, but maybe we will see some change. As you know, the protests have created a lot of friction between the president and both current and former military officials. In fact, the Associated Press has a story this morning with the headline, White House and Pentagon tensions near breaking point. You've covered the military for decades. What's your take here?
I think really this week was stunning when you had Secretary Jim Mattis, General Jim Mattis, come out with very harsh, very strong words directed right at the president. You had the former chairman of the Joint Chiefs, Mike Mullen. So this seemed like a real inflection point as well. Those men were clearly angry about what the president had done and threatening to put active duty combat troops on the street face to face, not just National Guard, but bring in active duty military. I think you're looking at this photo opportunity right now where the Secretary of Defense there behind him. I do not think meant to be in that photo opportunity. You've got General Mark Milley, the chairman of the Joint Chiefs, behind him in what's called the battle dress uniform. He backed out of the photo op, but I think both men regret being part of that walk. They want to keep politics away from the Pentagon, and that is very important to them.
Such a tense time in this country. Martha, thank you. We're really glad to have your analysis on a Sunday morning. And a reminder, Martha has a big show this morning. She's going to talk about the Trump administration's response to the protests with the acting Homeland Security Secretary Chad Wolf, plus the mayor of Washington, D.C., Muriel Bowser, reacts to yesterday's demonstrations in her city. That's all coming up on This Week later this morning, right here on ABC. Whit, over to you.
Dan, we are also following severe weather this morning. Our Rob Marciano is in New Orleans, where the Gulf Coast is bracing for Tropical Storm Cristobal to make landfall today. Rob, good morning to you.
Good morning, Whit. Rain bands have been rotating throughout the night, and here in the French Quarter, it has been quiet through the overnight. Can't say that too often. Matter of fact, it's been quiet for days now. You see these storefronts are boarded up. We do have some sandbags here. It's been a combination, of course, of storm preps, protests that have been close by daily, and COVID-19. So a triple threat here in New Orleans, while Cristobal has already made its mark in Florida.
Wow. Overnight, Tropical Storm Cristobal spawning tornadoes in Florida. Watch as this twister drills through downtown Orlando.
Literally, there's a tornado right here.
The powerful winds tossing this trailer onto a car and leaving homes like this one in shambles. In Sarasota, Cristobal's outer bands bringing gusty winds and torrential rain, flooding roadways there. In Louisiana, the storm already causing coastal flooding, and New Orleans has been preparing for the storm's impacts.
There are over 200 floodgates that protect this city. And a couple of years ago, a train came through here, derailed, and tore this one up. So they've got to patch it before the storm comes through.
But COVID-19 and the Black Lives Matter protests are complicating the prep to protect the city.
We can't be stopped in our mission, and so we'll make sure that we get the job done.
Derek Bays' job is to keep New Orleans from flooding. And for a city below sea level, you got to stop the storm surge. And they're beefing up this week's spot with sand, heavy equipment, and manpower.
These guys are doing some hard labor with masks on. How difficult has it been to prep for this storm in the world of COVID?
It is definitely a challenge. We've had to alter our protocols. I mean, I think like the rest of the world, we've had to change how we do business.
I mean, the last thing they can risk is that team, his men and women getting sick, preparing for this storm, when another hurricane, possibly stronger, could be coming down the pipe in the coming weeks as we're just getting started here in hurricane season. So COVID-19 certainly throwing a wrench into everybody's preparation work. All right, let's go to where this storm is. It is just south now of the mouth of the Mississippi River, but those rain bands continue to rotate into not only to Florida, but now the panhandle of Florida and the North Gulf Coast. And as that continues today, we'll see heavy rain, squall, and certainly storm surge. Here is the track. It'll be abreast of New Orleans. Later on tonight is a 50, maybe 60-mile-per-hour storm. It will not get to hurricane status. It just doesn't have that sort of structure. And then the leftovers of it do get up across the Mississippi and Missouri River valleys. And with that comes heavy rain and the possibility of more tornadoes, especially the northeast quadrant with this. Look at New Orleans getting slammed tonight in about 12 hours from now. And then flooding not just here, but potentially all the way up into parts of the Midwest. That's your check on what's happening with Cristobal. Time now for a look at your local forecast.
Beautiful conditions expected today, highs into the lower 80s, lower humidity, dew points in the lower 70s yesterday, into the 50s today, so a lot of comfort out there. Get out and enjoy it. Sunsets tonight at 8:32. As we head towards the beginning of the work week, 83 degrees, plenty of sunshine, back around 90 degrees Tuesday and Wednesday. You see those shower chances. I think storms possible Wednesday evening, a couple of lingering showers Thursday morning.
There's been lots of severe weather. I do want to bring in other parts of the country. The Northeast got it yesterday. Over 300 damaging wind reports with winds over 100 miles an hour in Colorado. So a lot of people getting the action. A lot of people will get a taste of this as it comes on shore as well. Talk more about the storm surge, guys, in the next half hour. Up to you.
All right, Rob, thank you. Now to the coronavirus pandemic. The U.S. close to 110,000 deaths now as reopening moves ahead. New York City, once the epicenter, due to begin its reopening tomorrow. ABC's Trevor Alt joins us with more. Good morning, Trevor.
Good morning, Eva. You know, businesses across New York City are excited to finally get to start this reopening process after months of shutdown. And Governor Andrew Cuomo actually says the state has far exceeded expectations for reducing the spread, but the virus is still wreaking havoc in other areas, with multiple major cities and states like South Carolina and Texas just recording record upticks in cases. The United States now tops 1.9 million COVID-19 cases. And right now, 18 states and Puerto Rico are seeing their cases increase. But this morning, New York is celebrating. Governor Andrew Cuomo announcing a substantial descent from the state's peak, saying we didn't just flatten the curve, we crushed it.
Congratulations to the people of New York State because they did this.
Tomorrow, New York City finally starts the reopening process, with other parts of the state moving into phase 2, and business owners are eager to get back to work.
People can't wait to go out, socialize, get out of the house. They're tired of being confined.
But the threat of the virus is still looming. As crowds protesting the death of George Floyd converged on Saturday, demonstrators like Samantha Law were passing out masks and hand sanitizer.
Does